got Coach Johnson and Alex Rigsby. Mark, you want to open up with a statement? You got any questions for Alex? We can let her go after that. Mark?
Well, obviously disappointed with the end result. Overall, I thought we played okay, but this time of the year, okay isn't good enough. And the nice part about it is we get another game, and hopefully, we can take the learning experience of today and come back in our next contest and, understand that we have to give a little bit more if we're going to be successful.
Questions for Alex?
Alex, was it a tough game to play in that you had long periods early where you didn't have to do much, and then when they did have a chance, it was scary, like carving on the breakaway or that turnover that Dakota had?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing for me is to make sure I remain focused throughout the game. You never know when they're going to get a break, lucky bounce, whatever. So just make sure I'm ready to go. Yeah, I would say so. I think we kind of played like we were defeated for a bit. We had all the momentum, and as soon as they scored, there was a change in momentum, so we tried to regroup in between periods and come back and try and gain the momentum back to our advantage.
Do you think the way the season series played out, where they were such low-scoring games, that it made that first goal more important than it would have been in a typical game?
You always want to try and get on the board first, right? It was just one goal. It's an easy comeback for us. Just kind of shake it off, play like it's a 0-0 game, and, try and get scoring opportunities and try and get the little rebounds here and there. But they have been close games, but, we've scored before, so there's no reason you should doubt that you can't score again.
Anything else for Alex? You're free to leave if you like.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Questions for Mark?
Is it kind of strange, playoff hockey, there will be less power play opportunities, but these last couple of games, there haven't really been any, and I don't know, I thought there were things you'd call, and obviously that's one of your strengths. Does that hurt your team when there are no power play options?
Well, obviously, if you end up with a 0 on the scoreboard, your best chance to score is if you get a power play. If you don't get any, obviously it may make the task a little bit more challenging to score. But those are questions that the supervisors and the refs have to answer. We're just out there trying to figure out how to win a hockey game, and kids are playing hard. At this time of the year, there's things at stake, and there's high stakes, and if teams lose, their seasons might be over, and so not only the players have to elevate their games, but the other people involved in the game also have to elevate it and understand that.
Is it challenging in a game like this where your best scoring chances come in the first half of the game?
Well, the first period we played well. We had a couple good opportunities. Britt went in all alone on a breakaway, and the goaltender was able to make some saves early on. And one thing you learn in the playoffs and certainly in the NCAA games, the goals, especially the first ones, create a lot of energy. In the second period, for the first 8 or 10 minutes, again, we played well, and then there was about 3 face-offs in our defensive zone where they ended up winning the face-offs and create some opportunities out of it, and got some offensive zone time through that. And then they scored the goal, and certainly, it excited them. And then, the first 4 or 5 minutes of the third period was just sort of like a game of chess. But at that time, we need to be a little bit more assertive. And, they called the timeout, and I thought from that point on, we started to play a little bit more desperate and started to create some chances. And then you pull your goalie. It's only 1-0. If you score even with X amount of seconds to go, now all of a sudden you have the energy. But we weren't able to do that. I think there was a little bit of shift after those 3 or 4 our defensive zone face-offs that we lost back to their point. Puck goes to the net or into the scoring area or behind the net. you know, up to that point, we hadn't spent a lot of time in our defensive zone with any type of pressure. You know, and they created some chances there, and then shortly after that, you know, we turn the puck over, and you know, they get a bounce, and you know, they're up 1-0. And like I said, you know, if we score, we're excited. Well, they scored, they got excited.
You guys have a bad turnover on that play, but what you need there is Alex to make the save, and she did.
She did,
make a
yep.
save on that first
And the
opportunity.
puck came right back to the gal's stick, and you know, she put it in the empty net.
Anything else for Mark?
Any silver lining, since you know you're in anyway, to playing one game this weekend rather than two, or?
Well, the silver lining is if you take, you know, the lessons from this game, and as I mentioned to the team, I mean, you know, I'm okay with the way we played, but if we want to move on at this time of the year, you need to give more. You need to play better, and if they take that away from the game, then it's a good lesson to learn and move on to the next one. We're obviously fortunate to get another opportunity, but that doesn't mean you're going to be successful unless you continue to learn. And you know, for our younger players, you know, it's the first time through, and hopefully some of the lessons they've learned the last couple of weekends, you know, will make us a tough out. I mean, now you're 3 games away from a national championship, so, but the stakes are higher too.